In this very special segment about International Women's Day, I am looking at different women characters in the Bible and then how they are inspiring us in our life, and especially in my personal life. That's what the special for International Women's Day. And I always mention this in our life. Our mothers will be very close to our heart, and then we'll have special attachment. And I mentioned this earlier in this show with you listeners. With my mother, I need to really confess that I didn't attach. I didn't have that attachment with her for a long time because I was my dad's favorite, and then dad was my hero, and I was always thinking all the qualities that I got from my dad and all the physical appearance that I got my mom, and which I always say that I'm not really happy with that because my mom is always having all the medical issues, and then she passed that to me freely, and I didn't get any of her good qualities because she's a real good person, never complain, never make any problems, and then always there is a smile on her face, and then her eyes will be always tearing for anything because she never ask for anything, or she never make any trouble. That's what I used to see her. And then I always feel like that is ridiculous. There is no point in crying because she didn't gain anything from crying. She always cry. We all know that whatever happens, she will cry. That's all. So I decided that I will not cry in my life. So in many incidents happened, I always feel that crying is having no real use. And then I always connect with my mom saying to myself, my mom used to cry the whole life that I can see, and she didn't gain anything because that was the life story. But until recently, when I was going to my life struggles, and then when I was connecting to myself, my core, and then I realized through my mentors, I really need to mention the great chief trainer Elizabeth, who helped me. And then you must have seen her interview the other day, and my other mentor, who helped me to understand how important it is to connect with your core, that will connect back to your mom, because you actually hear only through your mother, because all the emotions that you have now is actually passed over to you through your mother. When you were in the womb of your mom, you were experiencing many different things, and that's where you are forming that great character as you. So that's where I started to connect with my mother, and then had a good chance of having conversation in person with her in my last holiday with her back in India. That's where I realized that many different good qualities that she had, and then she intentionally didn't show that after her marriage to keep the family going. And that was shocking news to me, that she actually did an acting on stage when she was pregnant with me, and then she was acting as a real hero, not a girl as a man, but her real character is just gentle as anything. I didn't see anybody saying that my mom was angry, or my mom was rude, or mom was making them upset. I didn't hear anyone saying that. But I always say that that is your problem, mom. You never do that, and that's why you didn't help us to grow in the right way. So I was really accusing her for many things. I know that the word accusation is really huge word, but yes, I was using that. But when I realized and then had that connection with my mom, I understood. I was really overwhelmed the way that she was picking up her life. She was keeping the family together by sacrificing all her qualities, all her dreams, and all her desire. Her only desire was to build the family, keep that family, whatever the issue is there. That's why she loved to feed everyone, be happy, be the people pleaser for everyone. And at this age of or more than 70 years now, she can't really change. And even though if she is trying to change, it is not really possible back in India. So I really share my love, my gratitude to my mom, that I could connect to her personally and talk to her and understand that her trouble that she had in her pregnancy time is what I used to take as my different behaviors. So I would say that she is the best figure as a woman in my life. There are many people came in and out of my life, like they were in my life for many times and they're gone for different reasons. I do remember, I do feel grateful for all the people, all the women, great women in my life. I want to really mention about the mothers in the Bible. If you go through the Bible, you can see many different mothers and women who worked hard for the community and for the people around them. I can see or even feel in my mind all the time Naomi and Ruth, Esther, her beauty she dedicated for their people. She did many different things, sacrifices for their people. Ruth and Naomi, the mother-in-law and then daughter-in-law, it's a great example that how you can have that mutual respect and mutual compassion that Jesus and the women of Jerusalem showed in the ways of the cross. And if you go through the different women in the Old Testament, we can clearly find out many people from Eve, isn't it? Eve was beautiful, even though she was the reason for all the other issues in the world. She's the first mother. She's the one who did all other, the way of looking after children and then doing all the good things. The other mother I can connect and resonate is Sarah, waiting and waiting for a baby and then getting all different issues in the family. I was there for many years, so I can feel Sarah. Sarah was a good model in the Bible, how she was helping and at the same time doing some minute wrong things. What is the impact of doing that? Not even looking, not even doing the things without God's permission, making things really bad. The other lady in the Bible, Rebecca. Yes, Rebecca, also a good lady in the Old Testament. But what happened? Yes, we can all make mistake, but the mistakes are having great impact. So if you look at the Old Testament mothers, I love the other mother, which still, like in everyone were looking at the name of that lady, mother of Moses. Even though the king was killing all the boys, this mother was brave enough to keep Moses in the basket and keeping in the Nile so that the princess can take him and look after him. She was so brave. I love the way that she was really confident that God is with us and who can against me. That's the reason why she did that. She knows that Moses got a real big job and then she needs to do that brave act. And I love her. Do you know the name of that mother? If so, just comment down here. I'll send you the name later. So if you look at that way, many people in the Old Testament were there to help the community to come closer to God and then doing the right things. Just coming to the New Testament, some of the ladies, like women, is really strong and then helped me to go through my life. And as First one is always Mother Mary. But again, the other one, Elizabeth. When she got her blessing, she was so happy to share with other people. When she was pregnant and when she saw Mother Mary, she was so joyful. And there are lots of people like that. If you see good things in other people, sometimes they will be very reluctant to acknowledge and share the joy. But Elizabeth is a good model that always sharing and having that joyful moment with other people. And I love the other person is Veronica. You can see that in the Stations of the Cross. That's where we can see she was so brave, brave enough to come in between those soldiers and putting her own stubbornness to help Jesus and show the compassion through wiping Jesus with the towel. I love her brave, strong character. Even if you don't know anything more about her, that one act is enough to find out how strong she is and how compassionate she is. So I love the way that she was showing that compassion to Jesus. And I love one of the character that Jesus was showing in the parables, in that stories that happened during his public life. Here the lady at Samaria well, she was the first person who did that mission work, showing Jesus to the whole community and helping everyone to come back and follow Jesus. But the thing that I like with her is when she saw this man, she didn't realize whether Jesus is the Messiah, but Jesus was telling the stories of his from her own life about the number of husbands that she had and what she is doing at the moment, and then talking about that water that will fulfill her thirst. The moment that she understood that Jesus is the Messiah, the change in her attitude and then stopping whatever she was doing and then becoming a new person is the great example that you can always change your life and become a new person. And you can clearly see the other lady who is always there from the day one that she met to the last day of Jesus Christ, Mary the Magdalene. So she was also the person who realized that she was going through the bad times and bad days, and she was ready to stop everything wrong and then start a brand new life. That's what we need to do. If you realize that you are going through a bad time, or if you are going through the wrongdoings, this is the day that God is giving you to stop, redo, do the U-turn. Jesus is with you. That's the message for International Women's Day. If you know what you're doing is wrong, stop it now and start again. Jesus is with you. And on this International Women's Day, let us take that courageous decision. Take the U-turn. This is Bismi, spreading love, joy, and peace from Melbourne.